Taylor Swift did what? Muppet performer gets Lifetime Achievement Award, and a Girl Scout saves her dad? These stories and more, right after this. It's time for another episode of Good News with Jay, where we're all about telling uplifting stories from our local and global communities. Before we dive in, have you subscribed yet? Well, if you like what we do here, consider liking and subscribing. Plus, we have a brand new series launching this Friday called Monkeying Around, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. Now let's share some good news. A mysterious Australian man named Jim hid $1,005 bills around Magnetic Island. His treasure hunt was uncovered by U.S. tourist Nathan Johnson, who met Jim on a ferry and was skeptical of the wild claim. But being the curious type, Johnson decided to search for the goods and, to his surprise, found a $5 bill tucked in a vinegar station at Horseshoe Bay. Along with the cash, he discovered a note revealing Jim's grand plan: $5,000 worth of bills hidden around the island for anyone to find. Jim, living humbly despite a lucky stock investment, wanted to share the wealth with others. The notes were scattered in plain sight on trees, tables, posts, and more. While a few lucky folks found some treasure, no one knows the total haul yet. Jim's spontaneous generosity proved that sometimes the best presents are the ones you stumble upon. Talk about earning a life-saving badge! 11-year-old Girl Scout Vada Karwan is making headlines for her heroic CPR skills that saved her dad's life just days after learning them. When her father, Clinton Karwan, began experiencing chest pains and suddenly collapsed, Vada sprang into action, dialing 911 and performing chest compressions without hesitation. According to Dr. Deepak Talreja, her quick thinking kept her father's brain alive long enough for emergency responders to step in. Her courage and composure have gained national attention, and Clinton is beyond grateful. Vada hopes her story inspires others to never underestimate their own strength, regardless of age. Now that's a real-life merit badge in bravery. In a world where marriages often fizzle out, Harold and Sylvia Levine are proving that love can go the distance. 83 years and counting! The couple, who both turned 102 this year, tied the knot back in 1941, just before the U.S. entered World War II. The high school sweethearts from Brooklyn have built a beautiful life together, raising 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 15 great-grandchildren. What's their secret to a lasting marriage? Harold's words of wisdom: play your cards as they are dealt. Education opens doors, and, most importantly, say yes dear thousands of times. Now living in West Palm Beach, the Levines continue to inspire with their enduring love, humor, and wisdom. 83 years of wedded bliss sounds like a record-breaking romance. The Arctic cleanup project made a whale of a difference, hauling away over 28,000 kilograms of trash from the fragile Arctic environment. Because even polar bears prefer their icebergs plastic-free, this 3-year mission under the Protection of the Arctic Marine Environment Program teamed up with Keep Norway Clean, Ocean Conservancy, and local cleanup groups to tackle the mess humans left behind. It turns out, litter doesn't just chill in the Arctic, it piles up fast. Of course, Arctic cleanups aren't exactly a walk in the national park. Volunteers face long distances, tricky terrain, unpredictable weather, and limited waste disposal options. Basically an obstacle course designed by Mother Nature herself. But thanks to funding from the Norwegian Ministry of Climate and Environment with the help of Ocean Conservancy, the Arctic cleanup team tackled these challenges head on. Because when it comes to protecting the planet, every little bit of trash removed counts. Brazil is leaving us all hopeful with a 31% drop in Amazon deforestation this past year. That's the lowest tree loss in nearly a decade, with only 6,288 square kilometers of forest lost in 2024, down from 9,097 the year before. It's like the Amazon got a second chance at life, thanks to Brazil's government stepping up, tougher laws on logging, and a crackdown on illegal activities. Let's just say the deforestation rate is branching out in a better direction. But don't break out the confetti just yet, because there are still fiery problems on the horizon. Fire activity increased by 70% in September of 2024, and while logging is on the decline, land-hungry farmers keep fueling the flames. So, while Brazil's victory is definitely a root cause for celebration, tackling the long-term issues of deforestation, fires, and agriculture demands constant attention. To keep this progress growing, Brazil will need to nurture the balance between development and preservation, like watering the garden without drowning the plant. A group of churches in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania just pulled off a heartwarming move by erasing millions in medical debt for locals. 5 Episcopal churches and 1 Lutheran church teamed up and raised enough money to buy $3.5 million in medical debt for just $25,000, thanks to a cool partnership with the nonprofit Undo Medical Debt. They basically bought debt in bulk, and now thousands of people are breathing easier. The effort, led by Nativity Church in Bethlehem, was inspired by the crazy high costs of medical bills, with one church leader, Reverend John Stratton, pointing out how messed up the system is when $100 of debt costs less than a cup of coffee. Reverend Marion Sturgis shared her own experiences with sky-high hospital bills, giving a big shout-out to the churches for supporting the community. While they're not taking donations for this campaign anymore, they've left the door open for more in the future. Mason Brandstrader's skiing accident at 17 sent him down a new slope in life, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. But don't worry, Mason didn't let that break him. After a few months in rehab, he went from wheeling through life with a new perspective to being crowned homecoming king. Now at the University of Denver, he's not just rolling with the punches, he's mentoring others, training for wheelchair marathons, and making adaptive sports look really fun. With over 270,000 followers on Instagram, Mason sharing tips and tricks for living life hand over wheels, proving that his accident didn't break his spirit. Denver firefighters teamed up with local organizations and Denver public schools to keep kids warm this winter through Operation Warm. They gave away around 1,000 new coats to children in need. Firefighter Michael Knecht, inspired by his Alaskan roots, initiated the giveaway to ensure every child in Denver had a warm jacket. With many children living in low-income families without proper winter wear, Knecht's mission was to help kids stay cozy and bundled up for the season. Wow, firefighters help out even when it's cold! The National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, or NATAS, is rolling out the red, or shall we say fuzzy and felt-covered, carpet for Fran Brill, the Emmy Award-winning Muppet performer, by honoring her with the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 3rd Annual Children's and Family Emmy Awards. Brill, who was one of the first female puppeteers hired by Jim Henson, helped bring Sesame Street to life with her unforgettable characters, like Zoe and the ever-ambitious Prairie Dawn. Before joining the world of Sesame Street, Brill dazzled on Broadway and regional theater stages. She's continued on as well in film and TV, with roles in Midnight Run, What About Bob, and, of course, Law & Order. Because no accomplished actor in New York can escape at least one Law & Order guest spot. Chung chung! In response to receiving this legendary honor, Brill shared, "I feel fortunate and proud to have created characters that live on today. I hope young people continue to look to Sesame Street and pursue careers in puppetry. There's no other medium like it. We'd say that's a brilliant achievement. Congratulations, Fran." Taylor Swift's kindness is enchanted, but some Super Bowl fans were mean. Those are song references. A clip from the 67th Grammy Awards has gone viral, showing Swift literally putting her money where her gratitude is. As she left the awards, she suddenly backtracked to slip cash to 4 hardworking staffers, thanking them before heading out. Fast forward a week to the Super Bowl, where Swift was cheering on Travis Kelce, only to be met with a course of boos when she appeared on the Jumbotron. Fans online were wondering why someone known for generosity, lifting up fellow artists, and treating fans like gold got such a cold reception. But let's be real. Swifties know she'll just shake it off and keep making the whole place shimmer. Your move, haters! Maybe next time, try tipping instead of tripping. And that's this week's good news. Were there any stories in particular that brought some light into your life? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Oh, and don't forget, we're launching a brand new series on Friday. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And remember, no matter what's going on in the world, there's always good news to share. I'm Jay, the Good News Monster, and I'll see you next time for another episode of Good News with Jay. Bye! Let's just go again. Heroic. Fingers being loud again. Don't think I'm making art. Cinema. Well, I wouldn't call this cinema. It's the news. Good news. Blah, blah, blah. Don't use that part. Arts and scientists Scientists. No. Sciences. Let's try that again. Don't include that last part. Plane. There's always a plane. Go on. Get out of here. All right, turn this thing off.